Hey everybody. Um, I live in Ontario, which is in the great country of Canada. There is a place we know in Ontario called MarineLand. So it's essentially a theme park. Um, think Canada's Wonderland, but instead of crazy ass roller coasters, you got one roller coaster and a bunch of sea animals, whales, dolphins, and great time. They do tricks, they train them, all kinds of things. Sounds like a lot of fun, right? So I know a girl, and she really wanted to go. She's never been before, so this is the year 2019, and I had been there previously once before in my life, and it was about 30 years ago or so. I went with my family, and I don't really remember a lot about it. Uh, Other than that, it was a place where you got to see some cool animals and stuff, and I'm an adult now, apparently. So let's go. One of the great things about being an adult is you can do whatever you want. So if you want to go somewhere, you just fucking go. So we went. So this here is my review of MarineLand. 30 years later. So we get there, and she's all excited, always wanted to come here and stuff. The admission was $50 a piece, so it was $100 to get in for the both of us. And you get there, and you have these like nice teenagers working the ticket gate, and okay, good start, good start. We pay the money, we go inside. As soon as you get inside MarineLand, to the left, you see like a water theater thing where they do shows and stuff. So right away, you look to your left, and you walk down a little thing, and boom, dolphins in your face, and that's awesome. So the impression you get when you first get inside is that this place is awesome. You get to see dolphins up close. They're really cute. That water looks refreshing. It's really hot outside. And we look at the clock. It's about 2:30, and there was a show at 3. So we decided we could walk around the park a bit. They have a roller coaster. I think it was called Dragon Mountain, and it's supposedly, so I was told, it's the longest roller coaster in Canada, or not Canada, sorry, the world. I don't know if that's true, but okay. So we were trying to find it, and the thing about MarineLand, okay, is it's not like a traditional theme park. If you go to Canada's Wonderland as an example again, rides and attractions are very close together. There's a lot of shops and things in between, so there's always something to look at, something to do. With MarineLand, though, I didn't remember this because I was a kid. As soon as you leave the entrance, there'll be a sign that says "Go this way for family rides" or "This way for whatever." So you walk down that path, and you keep walking, and you keep walking, and you walk some more, and it's nothing but a paved path with like trees and foliage on either side of you, and you walk. It's like a 5-minute walk plus between anything, with like nothing in between. So it was like 32 degrees Celsius. Very hot day. I was wearing a hoodie. I don't know. I heard it was cold in the Arctic Cove, which is an area in there, but it was just a bad idea to wear a hoodie. So we're walking along, and we get halfway to where the roller coaster is supposed to be, because they give you a map. The map looks pretty busy and colorful, and it's a really nice map. But it takes a long time to get between anywhere. So we get halfway, and I'm like, this dolphin show is starting in like 15 minutes, and we're nowhere even near this roller coaster. So we gotta turn this sucker around, or we're gonna miss it. Okay, and I'm not missing me some dolphins. Okay, especially with her, because she'd never seen them before, and that was really cute. So I want to make sure she got the best experience. So before we go back, we stop off to find a bathroom, and there's this place called, I forget what it's called, but it's essentially a deer park. Now, why there are deer it's like a petting zoo or something. So why there's deer in an aquatic theme park, I have no idea. I don't understand. I mean, they had it within like this like castle area, so I guess, I mean, Robin Hood, forest, deer, castles, medieval, I don't know. But either way, so we stop in there. She's got to go to the bathroom. So I'm like, I'm going to check out the deer park. So I walk in, and essentially it's just a big open enclosure, and there's nothing there. No deer, nothing. Just a dude sweeping around. I don't even know what he was sweeping. He was just sweeping dirt. Nothing but dirt sweeping, and that was the whole thing. Like, all right, so I guess there's no deer. Now, the thing about MarineLand, you have to realize is, you know, the world we live in nowadays, there's so much controversy about, you know, caging, trapping animals and training them for our amusement. So there's a whole lot of politicizing around the idea of this theme park, and now they're basically at a point where they can keep the animals they have, but they cannot get new animals. So, you know, it starts to decline in quality. Right, so it's not the same theme park it was 30 years ago by any stretch of the imagination. So anyway, after the bathroom, we get some food, and the thing about the employees I noticed, so when you walk in, there's these bubbly teenagers, but every other employee, aside from the trainers that I ran into, was someone who was like 60, 70, 80 years old. like if your grandpa's got a job, it's at MarineLand. Nothing against old people. But it looks like every employee there was working there the day the park opened, and they just stayed. And it's just very thematic for the whole experience, because the whole time you're basically thinking, I wonder what this place was like when it wasn't a rundown, you know, depressing theme park, which is what it is. So anyway, we go to the confection. Even the confectionery is an older woman, and that's fine. You know, but we're looking at the menus and stuff, and she's like, doesn't know how to work the cash register. She's like doing this with like the receipt paper in between, like sales and stuff. It's so amusing. We got the nachos. You know, we got the Sunny D red style, which is pretty good. It's like, what was it? It was strawberry orange. It's pretty good. I got some soft pretzels. That was pretty good. You know, always gotta get the soft pretzel. Okay, pretzels are the best, no matter where you go in life. So anyway, we, you know, pull a 90-degree, no, a 180. That's right. We go 180 right back to the dolphins. Kind of got lost on the way back. A lot of these places, if you don't have the map, you just end up wandering into like the middle of nowhere, and you got like random ass fields over here, or sections where there's nobody anywhere. There's people, but most of the places are abandoned, so you just end up going the wrong way, taking the wrong left, and you know, it's like you're in someone's backyard and you don't know what's going on. So anyway, we actually got our way back there just in time to see the show, and they had a really cool show, like dolphins and beluga whales, I think they were, and sea lions, and those guys were actually pretty awesome. The trainers, they put on a nice show. They feed the dolphins. They do a trick, and it was about 30-40 minutes. It was actually a really good show, and there was a lot of people there to see it. So off to a good start. After the show, although the girl I was with almost got attacked by a seagull, just like decided he didn't give a fuck, just landed right beside her and tried to get her nachos. That was pretty funny. The seagulls there, they don't even fucking care. Like, they're so domesticated, they'll just go at you. So after that, you know, what are we gonna do? Let's walk around. So you walk past, there's like the family rides. It's like a kiddie theme park, mostly. It's for like families and stuff, right? We're like 30-year-olds just having a good time. All the rides are just basically, there's nobody on any of the rides. It's just one person who works there who's, you know, a senior citizen. I think you have to be that old to work there, or they just never hire anybody, and it's just like the animals, when they die or when they're gone, they just never replace them. So every ride is just someone sitting there with a book, like looking sad as hell. Nobody riding, like even if we wanted to see one of the rides, like, she's like, "What? I wonder what this does." It's just so awkward. Like you walk up to the person and be like, "Can we ride on this?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." And then you'd be the only one on the entire ride. So we never did any of that. Plus, a lot of the kiddie rides were just kiddie rides anyway. Um, so we didn't do any of that. We mainly came to see animals and tried the roller coaster anyway. So we kept going. They have a splash pad, which is pretty cool, I guess. But it's for little kids. There's just one attraction there. It's called the Skyscreamer. It's like a huge like drop zone kind of situation. You go up this tower, and then they drop you. Except they don't just drop you. They drop you, and then like that. And I'm afraid of heights, so that looks scary. But also, I didn't want to get on that thing because I would throw up everywhere. I don't. But the thing with it is, it's at the top of this like mountain. So to get there, you have to veer off and walk up, and it does not look like a fun walk. There's no really easy way to ferry yourself there. Just gonna walk, and this place is, like I said, is walking all the time. You're walking everywhere. It's mainly like it's like a fitness park because I think I lost a whole bunch of weight just sweating. So we didn't do the Skyscreamer. Okay, so whatever. They still have this roller coaster, so the girl I'm with, she's always wanted to go on it. It's like one of the things she's always dreamt about as a kid, So we finally make our way over there eventually, and so it's you get to the gate, and there's this guy who's like the oldest guy I've ever seen, and he stops us at the gate, and he's like, "Okay, you guys going into the roller coaster?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you, you're gonna go down this path, and you're gonna hang a right, and you're gonna follow along, and you go in the cave, and you cross the bridge, and you're gonna pay the toll, and when you get into the tunnel, it's really dark, so don't walk into the walls." We're like, "What?" "Okay, sure." "All right," and then have fun. So we're like, "All right." So you go in there, and it's this long winding path, and the whole thing's like in like the middle of like some forestry, and it's all overgrown, and there's nobody there. There's nobody there. It's so sad. And if you look and you see the tracks are all like rusted, and you're like, "Oh, that doesn't look too great." And they got loops and stuff, and we're like, "Okay, I guess we'll see." It's just the saddest thing, and there's brush growing everywhere, and it's like you're trying to imagine the whole time you're there. You're trying to imagine that what it would be like if it was really busy, and I just can't remember. It's been too long. So we're walking down the path. We get to the cave finally, and he wasn't joking. We're like, "This isn't too bad," but then you walk in there like 20 feet, and then you can't see shit. It's fucking pitch black. You're doing this. My arm brushed up against the wall. We're like, it's dangerous. It's actually dangerous, and there's no lights in there at all, and they don't give a fuck. Like, they're not putting anything in there. Safety, you might as well sign a waiver for your life when you go into this theme park because nobody cares. Like, we walked in there. She's got a bag. You don't know what's in that bag. There could be crazy stuff in there. Nobody checked anything. There's no metal detectors. You just walk right in there. Do whatever you want. I'll see you later. So, anyways, we get past the tunnel and finally get to the opening inside where the coaster comes through. And there's these two employees there, and one's just sitting there doing this, and the other one's sitting by the controls, just like reading a book. And so the coaster's already off on a run, so they're just waiting. And I'm like, I'm thinking there's like 4 people on this thing. Like, we didn't see anybody on the walk over there. So I say to the guy, I'm like, "Must be a really boring job, eh?" And he's just like, doesn't say anything. They're probably not allowed to talk to us or something. I don't know. So it comes in, and nobody's really that thrilled. There was actually about, I'd say, 10 people on it, so it was busier than I thought. So they get off. We get the whole roller coaster ourselves, essentially, except for like one group of 4 that stayed on. So we went in the front row. We're like, "Let's go, let's do it." We pull the things down. Lots of leg room, very comfortable. As the roller coaster goes up, and it goes up, up and up and up. And one thing I noticed right away is that, aside from like the leaves and the branches like hanging off to the side, like if you stick your arm out, you're gonna get hit by a tree. So don't do that. And there's like random brush like going up through the rail as you're going up, like poking out. I mean, that can't be safe for anyone. But okay, fine. So we go up, and then it drops down, and you kind of go around a little bit. It's a couple of little loop-de-loops. Nothing too crazy. But most of the roller coaster is just, it's very relaxing. Having been on Yukon Striker and like Behemoth and stuff at Wonderland, it's no Giga coaster. Okay, and the whole time you're just trying to think what this was like back when it was new. It must have been awesome. And we're just like, it's the saddest thing. It's not very scary. It's not too thrilling. It's okay. There's a lot of large sections where you're going straight and you kind of go like this. Wasn't that great? I mean, it's fun to be on something that you've never been on before, but it was kind of a sad roller coaster. And there's certain parts where you go into the tunnels and you can't see anything. Ooh, scary. And I'm convinced they have speakers inside those tunnels we can't see, where they just feed like fake screaming noises through it, because there's no way people were screaming on this thing. There's only like 5 of us on the coaster at the same time. It was not terrifying in the slightest. So you go through, and it was fine. My stomach was a little woozy from the loop-de-loops. I was actually surprised that we had enough momentum to actually hit those loops, right? But yeah, it was fine. Okay, so we got off, and right away we're gonna try the back. So we went to the back. This was a much different experience. So you sit in the back and you go in, and I'm crammed in there like this. I got nowhere to move my legs, and I'm like, I can't move. But okay, let's go. It was essentially the exact same experience, except after the initial incline, you drop. You come out of your seat a little bit, so that was a little bit of a thrill, and then it was just the same sad experience again. So we went twice, left, walked down that path some more, and I mean, again, there's nobody there. You'd be half expecting to see teenagers shooting up drugs, like, doing shit in the tunnels, because it's just nobody. I'm talking, you're by yourself for a good 10 minutes as you're walking back and forth from this thing. So it was kind of sad. But we did it, and then we walked around some more walking. They have like a pond where you can feed fish, and there's a guy sitting there at the feed fish station, and I can only imagine what it's like to work there. He's like, "Yo, Steve, okay, you're on fish feed station today." He's like, "Fantastic," and you just sit there all day. Because I mean, do people actually buy the fish feed? There's giant fish in there, but that's really boring. They had some bears. At one point too, and I don't understand why there's bears there. It's an aquatic theme park. It's not polar bears. They're just regular brown bears. So they were kind of cute, but at the same time, it's like, at one point, there's a bit of a shock. There was, there's a bunch of birds and stuff walking around, geese and whatnot, but then there was a really fucking weird looking geese. I'm like, what the hell is that? It turns out it was a turkey with like a broken wing, just kind of hanging out. Nothing to do with the park, just kind of strolling around doing this thing. So a lot of the other rides were just kiddie rides, so we didn't want to do any of that stuff, They had a place called Friendship Cove, where there's an area where I guess they do whale shows, but there's nothing going on there. You can go underneath to the viewing part, and there's like a big tank, and there's this one killer whale just kind of swimming around. It's very sad because they can't add any more whales, and this guy's stuck living there for the rest of his life until he dies, and you'll never see another whale again. And it's cool. We got pictures, but it's really sad and depressing at the same time. So we saw that, and then there's pretty much nothing else to do there if you're not hanging up the splash pad. But they didn't have an aquarium, so I was like, you know what? This is an aquatic theme park. There's an aquarium. That's got to be good, right? So we go into the aquarium, and you go downstairs, and the first thing you see on the left is like another tank. So we look in the tank, and there's nothing in there. It's empty. Of course it is. So, okay, great. So we walk around a little bit, and then you eventually get to a part where there is, like, actual aquariums that are, like, you know, yay big, with, like, kind of big fish in there, but nothing crazy. It means fish. So that was kind of boring and sad, and then we walked out, and that was like, we were done in 3 minutes. So that was a huge disappointment. In the main area, um, they had another showroom, I guess, at the top of that tank, and it was like blocked off with like police tape, like don't you fucking go in here. So they had that shut down. In fact, back by the roller coaster, there was something called Magic something or other. I think if the magic shows or something, I don't know what it was, but it was a whole building. It's on the map and everything. That was also blocked off with like yellow tape. So like the whole place was just run down, and like you're just walking all over the place. They have this train that you can ride, and that's very slow, but at least you don't have to walk. Although anytime we saw it, it was just crammed full of families, and there was no real set schedule. You sort of just have to sit on a bench and wait for it to get to you. So we didn't get to do that, but no big loss there. But yeah, I mean, it's really, really sad place. It started off really good. You know, the dolphin stuff were really cool, and then nothing. Just walking, sad roller coaster, walking some more, crappy aquarium, right out of there. So you can buy like a $5 fun pass, I think they call it, that basically once you're inside, and then that's like a season's pass. But like unless you're a local, and then you come in there all the time to just do the splash pad when it's really hot, there's no reason to ever go back. None at all. So yeah, it kind of sucked. I mean, the girl I was with is fantastic, and it was awesome getting to see her be happy watching the animals, and the animals again were cool. But that's all it was. Was it worth $100? No, it was not. So if you have a yearning to go to MarineLand, I would just say, you know what, this time has passed. It's way past. It's, you know, you can't just close it because the animals have to go somewhere. Like, I don't know, unless you can ship them off to a zoo or something. They're basically just living and dying by these animals, and once they're dead or whatever, the place is done. So it's just real big disappointment. However, I will say, afterwards, we went about 10 minutes down the road to this place called Clifton Hills by Niagara Falls. That's like a shitty Las Vegas. That was actually a ton of fun. So, you know what? If you're going to go from MarineLand, at least check out this place, because it was lots to do. People everywhere, attractions everywhere, you know, like you expect at the theme park, you know, which was just walking and more walking and more walking. So yeah, if you ever see the commercial where it says everyone loves MarineLand, not so much. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool day, so that was fun.